Hey guys, let's get more news from Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Draymond Green mocks Nurkic for having the worst all-time playoff win percentage. Draymond Green sent more shots towards Nurkic after the Suns' season ended with a sweep loss to the Timberwolves. The sweep means Nurkic's career playoff record is 3-17, a 15% win rate. Green shared the statistic on Instagram and mocked the Bosnian center after all his trash talk towards Green this season. Hope that brother gets the help he needs. Green used the same words Nurkic said to the media after their clash earlier this season, where Green punched Nurkic during a game and was later suspended and sent to counseling. Nurkic also tweeted a GIF saying, "That's all folks," after the Warriors were eliminated from the play-in tournament, taking shots at the end of their dynasty. Green responded to that on his podcast by laying into Nurkic. "That's all folks. You've got to be really careful when you're not that successful and you try to take jabs at people. Because when you really don't have control over your own success, when you don't play a large enough role in your team's success, when you can't really affect the outcome of the game. Like you can go get 20 rebounds and lose a game. When you really don't affect the outcome of the game, it's really tough to take jabs at people when you can't affect what your end result is." Nurkic averaged 7.8 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 2.8 assists in the 4 losses to the Timberwolves in the 2024 playoffs. While he advanced further than Green, both players had the same amount of wins in this year's playoffs. At least Green can take solace in the 4 titles he's already won, as compared to Nurkic, who has to reckon with his horrible playoff record. Nurkic has played 20 playoff games in his career but has walked away with just 3 wins. 2 of those wins came in the 2021 NBA playoffs, where the Portland Trail Blazers lost 4-2 to a Denver Nuggets squad without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., losing the series after being the odds-on favorite to advance. That was his last playoff appearance before the sweep loss this season. Nurkic was swept in the 2018 playoffs as well, losing in the first round to the Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday-led New Orleans Pelicans. He was injured for the Blazers' 2019 run to the Western Conference Finals, missing out on the 8 playoff wins they picked up in that run. He averages 11.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 2.7 assists in the playoffs. Nurkic plays his role while his stars get outmatched by the opposition. Nonetheless, the one successful run the Blazers made in his time with the franchise came when he was injured, so it's worth analyzing if Nurkic is a bad postseason option. The Phoenix Suns have minimal avenues to improve their team for next season, with Nurkic the only player on their team who can be traded and isn't on a minimum contract, outside the 3 stars of the team. He'll hope to get another crack at the playoffs next season, but there's no guarantee he gets that chance with the Suns. Draymond Green kept the receipts against Nurkic. Nurkic of the Phoenix Suns chose to taunt Draymond Green when the Golden State Warriors lost their play-in game to the Sacramento Kings. When the Minnesota Timberwolves swept the Suns, Green was there with the receipts, as usual. Nurkic posted a GIF of "That's all folks," the classic Warner Brothers cartoon ending, to commemorate the end of the Warriors season. But he didn't anticipate his own team losing in 4 games, or that Draymond Green might be out of the playoffs, but he's never out of the podcast studio for good. On the latest episode of The Draymond Green Show, Green broke down the bad timing of Nurkic's tweet like he was breaking down game film for TNT. "Unfortunately, that is all folks," Green began, before chastising Nurkic, who he called the big softy. "You got to be really careful when you're not that successful and you try to take jabs at other people," Green continued, then explained that Nurkic simply wasn't a good enough player to affect the outcome of the game. At least not in the playoffs. It's hard to blame Nurkic for the Suns getting swept, especially when Bradley Beal is sitting right there. The Bosnian Beast averaged 7.8 points and 9.8 rebounds for the series, facing off against another Green nemesis, Rudy Gobert. But he does have the worst playoff record of anyone who has been in at least 20 playoffs games, 3-17. He's been swept in 2 series, played 1 game in Golden State's sweep of Portland in 2017, and lost 2 other series in 6 and 5 games, respectively. Again, it's not really his fault, and the record would look better if he wasn't hurt for Portland's longest playoff run in 2019. Even Green would argue he doesn't affect winning that much. This of course stems from Green striking Nurkic in the face back in December, drawing an indefinite suspension. Then they clashed again after Green's return. When Nurkic did the too small celebration, Green did it back, and Nurkic lost his mind about it after the game. "It's sad. He didn't learn anything," Nurkic told reporters after the game. "Just a matter of time. He's going to hit somebody else again. Take back everything I said. He don't deserve a chance." Apparently he was furious because of too small. So it wasn't a surprise that Nurkic took shot at Green, and even less of a surprise that Green responded on his show. What was a surprise is that in the midst of shredding one rival, Green grudgingly complimented Nurkic's counterpart on the Timberwolves. Another Western Conference center Green was suspended for assaulting. That's how much Green hates Nurkic. Enough to compliment Rudy Gobert and his defense. That's true hatred. Golden State Warriors insider sparks Kevin Durant reunion buzz. Nearly 5 years after he departed from the Golden State Warriors, the notion of Kevin Durant returning to the team is gaining momentum. This interest is spurred by Durant's recent challenges with the Phoenix Suns and the Warriors' need to enhance their roster for another NBA championship run. Monty Poole, a Warriors insider for NBC Sports Bay Area, has suggested that Golden State consider trading for Durant. This could potentially involve significant roster changes, including the possible departures of Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins. The strategy aims to capitalize on Stephen Curry's prime years by adding a high-impact player like Durant. Trading for Durant now would require not only all parties signing off, that's the thorniest part, but also substantial roster shuffling, beginning with the departures of Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins, Poole wrote. Before dismissing this as sheer folly, recall that few outside Warrior circle last summer imagined first-year general manager Mike Dunleavy and Lacob going after Chris Paul. Curry has previously expressed enthusiasm for Durant's return, and Draymond Green also supported the idea. Additionally, Golden State CEO Joe Lacob has openly questioned Durant's decision to leave the team in 2019 via a sign-and-trade deal with the Brooklyn Nets. Durant's potential return is increasingly appealing as the Warriors look to build a championship-contending team this offseason. Despite Durant's consistent All-Star performances, his playoff journey with the Suns ended disappointingly, with the team being swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Durant's post-Warriors career has been a mix of high expectations and limited playoff success, contrasting with his successful 3-season stint in Golden State. Both the Nets and the Suns, teams Durant played for after leaving the Warriors, were assembled at great cost but fell short of championship expectations. His time in Brooklyn, alongside Kyrie Irving and later James Harden, and in Phoenix with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, demonstrated the difficulties of translating individual star power into consistent team success. This summer, Durant and Curry will reunite as members of Team USA, coached by Steve Kerr. This gathering will provide ample opportunity for reflection and potentially meaningful discussions about Durant's future. With the Warriors planning to retire Durant's number, the organization may view this as a prime opportunity to explore a reunion, underscored by past considerations of other major player acquisitions like LeBron James. And you fan, what do you think of the Kevin Durant situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.